Hello and welcome to Glassstire's Top 5. This is our fall preview, actually, and I'm Christina Rees.
And I'm Brandon Zech.
We're doing special videos now for special editions, and this is one since it is our fall preview. As usual, we are focusing on nonprofits and institutions, the big museums and nonprofit spaces, rather than the commercial galleries, because these are the places that we have all of the scheduling for. So,
well, and also everything is still thrown off a little bit with COVID.
Absolutely.
You know, there are museums that have been running shows for months. There are museums that open shows over summer that they probably normally would have opened in the fall. So it's just kind of all thrown about. So with that in mind, these are our 5 picks across Texas.
Number 5 on our list this week is at the Mexican Art Day Museum in Austin, Texas. It is MX21 Resistance, Reaffirmation, and Resilience. It's a group show. Right now, 2021 is sort of a commemoration of Mexico's resistance to the takeover by Spain. That's happening all year, as well as just this idea of a group show of mostly Texas artists who are working in these zones where we're really looking at the Texas-Mexico border, Mexico's history and its influence on the relationships between the U.S. and Mexico even today. So we've got these great artists, some of whom we're just huge fans of. We've got Conde Aguilar, Angel Cabrales, Michael Menchaca, Mari Hernandez, Delilah Montoya, and more in this group show. It opens on September 17th and runs through February 27th, so you've got time to see it, and we're looking forward to that one.
You know, one of the nice things about all of this also is museums are opening shows and they're staying up for like 6 months, which, I mean, you know, it's hard for everyone to get all across Texas, so you'll kind of see a theme of that in this fall preview, but also in kind of the rest of this fall in museums and nonprofit openings. Number 4 this week is a show at the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth. It's opening September 5th, closing January 16th of 2022, and it's a show of works by Teresa Hubbard and Alexander Birchler. The show is called Flora. The show actually contains 2 main works, a new video, a multi-channel video installation called Flora, and another work called Bust. Both of these pieces were exhibited in the Swiss pavilion of the 57th Venice Biennale back in 2017, and they've also both come into the Moderns collection recently. If you know Hubbard and Birchler, if you're familiar with their work at all or have ever had the pleasure to see one of their video installations, they're masters of storytelling and weaving in historical and new footage and retelling narratives and just filming perfectly shot. They're films as much as they are pieces of video art. This film, Flora, which is kind of the main film in the installation, is about the American artist Flora Mayo, who in the 1920s had a love affair in Paris with Alberto Giacometti. The reason that they focus on her, you know, a lot of their work is kind of focusing on untold stories or things that have been erased or things that aren't widely known. And apparently her career is this way. Apparently she's just kind of a footnote in Giacometti's biography, and her work isn't that widely known. It's always a treat whenever we get to see works by Texas artists that have been, you know, exhibited nationally and internationally and acquired by the Modern. Number 3 on our fall preview is a show called AfroAtlantic Histories, and it is going to be here at the MFA. We're shooting this video in the MFA Sculpture Garden, the MFA Houston. The show's going to open late October. It's also going to run through mid-January of 22. This show is about the transatlantic slave trade, and it contains 5 centuries of art, so 17th century through 21st century, and it's a large, significant group show. I believe it's something around 130 works. It's co-organized by the MFAH and the São Paulo Museum of Art in collaboration with the National Gallery in DC. It has works by contemporary artists like Melvin Edwards and Kara Walker. It has works, like I said before, from the 17th, 18th centuries. It's going to be interesting to see how this show, organized by, you know, these 2 main museums, one of which is our MFAH, tells this narrative and weaves the story of the transatlantic slave trade. Because there's a lot there, and a lot of artists have really made work exploring what all of that has meant in terms of, you know, socio-political culture and geography and economics of America and everywhere in between that it affects.
Number 2 on our list this week is at the National Sculpture Center in Dallas, Texas. It is Betty Saar. It's called Call and Response. She is 95 years old. She's from Los Angeles. She's an assemblage artist out of that great tradition of Southern California assemblage. And she's very, very good at it. This show was actually organized by Los Angeles County Museum of Art and is traveling. When it opened last year, even during COVID, it got a tremendous amount of attention with good reason. This is a survey of her career. And one of the things that's interesting about this particular show is it brings in all of her sketchbooks so that you kind of more or less see a lot of her process. So she worked alongside a lot of greats in LA. She's still at it, and she is sharp as a tack. I've seen some interviews with her recently. Oh gosh, if we could all be so lucky to be that sharp when we're 95 and working so well when we're 95. But anyway, this is a big show for us in Dallas, and it opens on September 25th.
And number 1 on our fall preview is a show at the Blanton Museum of Art in Austin, Texas. It is Border Vision's Luis Jimenez's Southwest. The show's opening at the end of October. It's also on view through mid-January. A lot of stuff on view through mid-January.
Yeah.
But Christina, we're both so excited for this exhibition. We're both huge fans and supporters and advocates for the work of Luis Jimenez.
Yeah, and we won't get into it now, but there are some reasons, some rumored reasons why a really big major survey of his work will not be coming together anytime real soon, although I think a lot of museums would like to do that kind of thing. But Blanton has a lot of his work. They've got a big holding of his work, and I'm sure that they've borrowed some too. A lot of works on paper in this show too, which I think will be great. But one of the things that Brandon and I talk about sometimes is how wonderful it is to be able to stand in a room just surrounded by an artist's work. And as much as we love his work, we've never really gotten to do that before.
No, that's true.
Finally!
Yeah.
Finally, because he's such a favorite. So this is going to be a visual feast like you can't believe. I mean, this guy's stuff is so robust and rich and juicy and amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. Anyway, a very good reason to go to Austin. And, you know, again, it'll be up until January 16th. You got a little bit of time. But this is a great way to take advantage of seeing a lot of this particular artist's work in one place at one time. Take advantage.
Yeah. And that is our fall preview list. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. And of course, these are just 5 exhibitions. There are a ton of other things happening both this week and into the fall. Check out our event listings all across Texas. There's a ton of great openings at nonprofits, at galleries, and museums. And it's coming down the pike.
Yeah. Actually, go see some art.
Go see some art.